Now when it comes to formatting your text, for example, I want to format my headings here for step 1, step 2, step 3 into maybe make it bold or a different color. Just simply go ahead and select the text, click and drag, and select it. Now you'll notice that when I select it beyond it, the paragraph, it actually selects the picture. I don't want to select the picture. And if I come up here on the Home tab to the paragraph group and show my paragraph codes, you can see that I've got the paragraph code selected as well. I don't want to do that, so I'll click off, click and drag it again, and it automatically wants to shoot over to select the paragraph code at the end. Just try to get it right there so it doesn't select that paragraph code, so it doesn't also select the picture that's part of that paragraph. Okay, let me go ahead and turn off the code so it doesn't annoy me. And then come up here on the Home tab to the font group and go ahead and apply some of the formats, like B for bold, it bolds it, I for italics, U for underline. You can also right click on it and it brings up the mini formatting toolbar. You can deselect the different formats or reselect it, and then well, you're kind of limited here. Well, we can change the color, and let's do red, and then click off in a blank area to see what it looks like. Not too bad. Not only can you go ahead and let me select this again and not select the paragraph, apply some formats, but you can also change the font, the type there. I'm going to type in Comic, and after I type in the first couple letters, it brings up Comic Sans. If I hit the Tab key, it automatically applies it. I can change the size, click on the drop down arrow, let's do 14. And then if I want to apply more formats to it, remember, if you find a group that has an expandable dialog box button to it, that means that there's more to it than meets the eye. Go ahead and click on it to expand it. And not only do you have some of the same formatting features that you can see within the group here, but you have additional ones, like down here you can do all caps. You can see in the preview window it's all in caps. You can have a different underline color, like maybe something, I don't know, it's going to be complementary here. Shall we do purple? In any case, you also have advanced options here, like when it comes to character spacing, you can do, instead of normal, you can expand it, and expands the spacing in between the letters there, or you can do condensed, and you can change the default 1 point. You can go up, you can go down. Then you have kerning for fonts, more advanced options. Let's skip down to text effects, and let's do a shadow. Ooh, that's fun. Click on the preset drop down arrow, and let's do a shadow that comes from, let's see, inside diagonal top right. Okay, click on it, click close, click okie dokie, click off in a blank area. Ooh, fancy. Look at the shadows. Look at the colors. It's great. Not visually pleasing, but you get the idea. Now you can imagine that if you have to apply this exact same formats to all the other headings, that's going to be annoying because you have to come down here, select it, well, and don't select the paragraph marker here, just the text there, and try to remember what's applied to this. Let's see, what type of shadow, what font size was it. You can come back up here and click in it and see what's highlighted and what's applied to it, but better than that, you can use the Format Painter. The Format Painter is a feature that will copy the format around the cursor, so the cursor's in between these formats here, and apply it and paint over whatever you choose to apply the formatting to. So for example, the cursor's within the format there, within the text. Come up here on the Home tab to the clipboard group, and there's the Format Painter. Go ahead and click on it, and then as I move my mouse down over the page, you can see a little paintbrush. We're ready to go. It's now going to apply, when I click and drag, the format that I had my cursor flashing within up above here. And so if I want to do this again, go ahead and click within that, come back up here, click on the Format Painter, paint it again, and then keep doing it for the rest of the headings here, which, by the way, there's a shortcut to this, because who wants to come up here and keep clicking on the paintbrush? I mean, sure, you can go ahead and right-click and bring up the formatting toolbar and just have it a little bit closer, but still you have to keep coming up here to turn on that paintbrush, or up here. Better yet, double click really fast, just 2 clicks really fast, and what that will do is it will keep the paintbrush up until the cows come home. I mean, you can paint, 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 it'll never disappear. That is until you come back up here and deselect it or hit the escape key on the keyboard. Okay, that's annoying. I'm going to go ahead and hit undo a couple of times here to get rid of that. So cool, got a shortcut. Let me show you another shortcut. It's the F4 key. So if I do some simple formatting, like I double click and select a word here, and I apply B for bold, and I go, I would like to also apply that bold somewhere else. Like let's do it down here for the title. Go ahead and select it, and then instead of hitting on B for bold, I can hit the F4 key, and the F4 key will automatically repeat the last action, formatting action that we performed, which was the bold here. So if I come over here and I double click on life, or I click and drag and select some text here and I do underline, then that's the last formatting action I did. So if I select some other text and hit the F4 key, it'll underline it. So really nice. But what if I have a combination of formats that I would like to apply using the F4 key? Well, it won't work this way. The only way that you can do that is by opening up and expanding the dialog box for the font group. So when I click on that expandable dialog box button, click on the font tab, anything that I do within that window, like if I make it bold, I make it, well, teeny size, and I change the color to, let's do purple, and I make it small caps, then I click OK. Anything that I do within that window, and I hit the F4 key when I select, well, let's select the title here again for mentally, hit F4, will automatically apply all those formats. It won't do it if you do it one at a time from the ribbon, but it'll do it when you do it within the expandable dialog box here, the font group window. And then I can just, keep hitting F4, F4, double click F4, and keep applying that for as long as I want. And then finally, well, let me hit the undo key because I'm just not going to save this because that's really horrifying what I've done to my document here, but you get the idea. Last thing you can do is you can highlight some text if you want it to pull focus when you're scrolling through your document, something that you want to pull attention to. So for example, exercising for at least 30 minutes a day can reduce your risk of health issues. Okay, let's highlight that. Go ahead and select it, and then if you move over to the right, it brings up the mini formatting toolbar, and you've got the highlighter right there. Click on its corresponding drop down arrow and select one of the colors there. Am I talking too fast? In any case, go ahead and select yellow if you like that. Or if it doesn't pull up, you can always right click on the selection. It brings up the formatting toolbar as well. Or you can select it, come back up here on the Home tab to the font group, and it's there too. And if you want to unhighlight it, click on the drop down arrow and say no color, and you're back to where you started. Now, will you humor me just a little bit here? I want to show you that when I select some text here, come up on the Home tab to the paragraph group, and I say, let's go ahead and number these lines here. And I click on numbering, and it's 1, 2. You'll learn this in a later training video. But the point I want to go over here, let me also turn on the show high codes so you can see the paragraph markers at the end of each line here for the list, 1, 2, that if you select the paragraph and you make it bold, it also makes the number bold as well. Let me turn it off. And if I don't cover it later, I want you to know as far as the formatting goes, if you're like, wait a second, I've got normal text here, but the list number is bold. How does that work? Well, it's because the paragraph code over here is in bold. So if you select it, even though you can't see it unless, of course, you turn on the show hide codes up here, as we learned in an earlier training video, and then you come up here and you deselect the bold, it'll also unapply the bold to the number here, okay? So I know we haven't covered the list items yet, how to number or create a list, but it's important for me when it comes to formatting things that you know that if you format the paragraph code here, it'll at least affect your list items here, the numbers, and it may affect other things. So keep that in mind, that you just keep it when it comes to formatting, I would say just the text that you want it to apply to and not include the paragraph marker. Thanks for watching. Hey, as a quick reminder, if you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. You can also click on me and subscribe to my channel to get notified of the latest videos. And for great specials on my products, please see the description below this video.